every single day. Every single day I'm seeing images like this. Children injured or killed by the Israeli military, often in seemingly targeted attacks. Look at this picture. This little girl was reportedly shot by an Israeli sniper in northern Gaza. With no ambulances or vehicles in the area, her father had to pedal her toward a hospital on a borrowed bicycle. He tried everything, but the reports say she tragically didn't make it. And Israel is still calling all this self-defense, as if that label explains the atrocities, as if it justifies the killing of innocent children. There's supposed to be a ceasefire in Gaza, but Israel has never respected that ceasefire for one single day. Airstrikes, drone attacks, Israeli snipers, killing people, including innocent children, day after day. Israel is waging a systematic campaign of violence against Palestinians in Gaza. It's all controlled by Israel, designed to make this look like a managed crisis, not what it actually is. So the question is why? There's supposed to be a ceasefire in Gaza, so why does Israel keep killing Palestinians? The answer is the same as it's been for over the past 2.5 years. Israel wants to make life in Gaza unlivable. A reality where nowhere is safe, where residents have no choice but to leave. That has always been the strategic goal of Israel. Israeli ministers have said as much openly. Western media has largely chosen to ignore it. But every day, in Hebrew, in the Israeli media, ministers are explaining exactly what they intend to do. This is the Israeli government's open agenda. Greater Israel by force. There's only a ceasefire in Gaza on paper. The ceasefire that took effect on October 10th, 2025, has been broken by Israel repeatedly. In fact, at least 2,400 times according to tracking done by Al Jazeera. Since the so-called ceasefire began, 786 Palestinians have been killed. Over 2,200 have been injured. More than 100 of those killed have been children. Now look at the map. The ceasefire agreement established a yellow line. It was supposed to mark where Israeli forces would withdraw to. A temporary military boundary. Israel has been moving the line deeper into Gaza week by week. An analysis found that by December, Israel controlled approximately 58% of the strip. And that's still growing. Residents in the Al Tufa neighborhood said the line moved 100 meters forward in January alone. Without warning, people sheltering near Salah al-Din Road, Gaza's main north-south artery, suddenly found themselves living in a free fire zone, targeted by the Israeli military. Concrete blocks that Israel set up to mark the line move overnight, creeping forward, taking more and more land in Gaza. People wake up and find out that they're on the wrong side of it, and then they are targeted by the Israeli military. In December, Israel's military chief of staff, Eyal Zamir, stood in front of his troops and called the yellow line a new border line. Israel is making its intentions clear. It's not a security zone. It's not temporary. The Israeli government and the Israeli military intend to seize Gaza. And the world just watches. Defense Minister Israel Katz went further. He declared Israel would never leave Gaza. He promised military and agricultural settlements. This is not a ceasefire. This is a slow annexation conducted under the cover of one. The ceasefire agreement had clear requirements. Israel was supposed to withdraw from Gaza by the end of phase 1. It refused to do that. And again, the world did nothing. Of course, the Trump administration wasn't going to force its hand and just ignore it. But what about the rest of the world? Where's Europe? Where's my country, Canada? Australia? Where is the world outrage about what Israel is doing in Gaza? Think about what this means. Israel took what they wanted from this alleged ceasefire deal. They got the hostages released, they got the bodies returned, and then refused to deliver on its end of the agreement. UN experts have documented 40 active Israeli military sites still operating beyond the agreed withdrawal line. These are documented violations. The aid situation tells the same story. The agreement promised full aid delivery into Gaza. Only 37% of allocated trucks have been allowed into the Gaza Strip. Israel has blocked meat, it's blocked dairy, it's blocked vegetables. What it does let in, though, are snacks, chocolate, crisps, soft drinks, things that aren't nutritious, just the unhealthy stuff gets let in by Israel. That's how nefarious this is. The Israeli government and Israeli military is. This is not a logistics failure. This is a deliberate policy by Israel. Israel has also banned more than a dozen international aid groups from operating in Gaza. They have banned humanitarian groups that are desperately needed in the Gaza Strip. That is incredible. We're talking about Doctors Without Borders, Oxfam, the Norwegian Refugee Council, Care International, all banned from Gaza. Put this all together and the picture becomes clear. Israel is using a ceasefire it never intended to honor as cover for a strategy it's been executing all along. Maintain military control, prevent reconstruction of Gaza, make rebuilding life in Gaza impossible. Palestinians living near the yellow line describe what they're going through. They put down the line, and every period they push it further. They are squeezing us. Under international law, the deliberate displacement of a civilian population to alter the demographic makeup of occupied territory is not a security operation. It is a war crime. So, what does this all tell us? It tells us that the Israeli government has no intention of stopping what it's currently doing. We don't have to speculate about that. The people running this government had told us exactly what they want to do. On April 10th, Israel's far-right finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich, was at an inauguration of brand new illegal settlements on Palestinian land in the West Bank, and he laid it out plainly. He said, quote, "There will be a political component in Gaza to expand our borders. There will be a component in Lebanon that will expand our borders to the Litani River. There will be a component in Syria." Gaza, Lebanon, Syria. This is not fringe rhetoric. This is Israel's finance minister at a government ceremony announcing a territorial expansion across 3 countries. And Defense Minister Israel Katz added that Israel would eliminate any prospect of a Palestinian state. He called it, quote, "the final diplomatic phase." Satellite imagery confirms the pattern on the ground. Israeli forces are constructing berms, paving roads, and building fortifications across Gaza, not temporary positions, permanent ones. The children being killed in Gaza every single day are not collateral damage in a war Israel is trying to end. They are casualties of war Israel is choosing to continue. Because ending the war in Gaza would mean giving Palestinians back their land. And the Israeli government has made it clear in their own words that it will never do that. So where does this all leave us? Over 2,400 documented violations, a withdrawal that never happened, an occupation zone that keeps growing, aid blocked, humanitarian organizations banned, children killed almost every day, and a finance minister openly declaring expansion to 3 neighboring countries, and a defense minister saying that they will never leave Gaza. This is not a conflict with 2 sides acting in bad faith. This is a government with a documented, stated agenda that's wielding U.S.-funded military power to execute it, to the tune of $21.7 billion in direct military funding since October 2023. That's U.S. taxpayer dollars gone to Israel to fund all of this. The ceasefire was never a ceasefire. It was a cover. The plan has always been to push Palestinians out and seize Gaza. Meanwhile, the U.S. government continues writing checks with Americans' hard-earned tax dollars so Israel can stock up on military hardware, while other Western governments watch what's happening and call it peace. These are children in Gaza, children with names, with families, children with dreams who just want to play and live and grow. They're killed every single day by the Israeli military, while the world just watches. We know what is happening. We can see what is happening every day in Gaza. We can see what the Israeli military is doing. We know their stated plan, and we've always known.